Each and every one of us has an unlimited inner wellspring of spiritual power. You have the ability to transform, create, and heal anything upon which you set your heart and mind. Join me, Sarah Hall, as we learn how to uplift all aspects of your life through spiritual empowerment. Enjoy weekly guided meditations, spiritual discussions on a multitude of topics, and a chance to call in to receive channeled messages from the angels on your spiritual journey. I'm Sarah Hall, and this is Through the Eyes of the Angels. Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning into the show today. It is such a beautiful June afternoon. The peonies are blooming, the birds are chirping outside, and we get to hang out today on Project Bring Me to Life Radio, so I think it's a great day. Today we're going to dive into an area that most of us probably address on a daily basis: physical self-care. Physical self-care is incredibly important for each and every one of us so that we can feel and function at our absolute best. Being in tune with our bodies and achieving our personal best state of physical wellness is a huge component to experiencing joy and fulfillment in our lives. Our bodies have such an ability to take us and hold us within these beautiful states of joy, peace, and overall fulfillment. So why not use that power? Why not tap into it? Over the course of the past 11 years or so, I have been receiving regular messages from my angels on physical self-care. Most of the messages that came through were direct guidance for helping me to achieve and maintain a harmonious state of openness in my consciousness that would allow me to have a very clear relationship with spirit, and thereby, for me, more happiness and peace of mind. And of course, you can do this too. So if you're someone who identifies as a light worker, which is to say someone who feels as if they have a spiritual purpose on this earth to shine more light and to bring more love, or if you're someone on a spiritual journey of any kind, then truly this discussion is for you. Because the truth of what I've learned from the angels and from my personal experience over the years is that our physical bodies are powerfully entwined with our consciousness and our spiritual consciousness. And these things grow in direct relation with our physical bodies. One of the primary messages that the angels have taught me on this subject is that consciousness is not just a thing that's stored in the brain. It is present all over your entire body. The energetic presence of memories, beliefs, and conscious thoughts can show up all over the body and physically affect how you're feeling in those areas. So for example, I do energy healing work on my clients pretty much every day, and one area where you'll often see energetic burdens or etheric cords being carried is over the shoulder region. This is because most of us will carry our worries on our shoulders as if we're shouldering the concerns of the world. As a result, many people with these kinds of energies showing up around the shoulders will confirm that indeed they experience tightness or even pain around the shoulders or upper back region. Another area where I commonly can see energetic blockages or burdens is attached to the hip region. When someone is overexerting themselves and taking responsibility for another person, maybe holding on to that other person's concerns for them and feels responsible for nurturing or maybe fixing that person, the energy can often show up in the hips as if you're holding that person on the hip, like a mother would carry a baby there. This is actually especially common in women that I've seen, as the hip and pelvic region for women is a very, very strong center for that creative, nurturing energy of the womb. And once again, people who have heaviness attached energetically in this area will indeed oftentimes report that, they experience tightness in the hips, in the pelvics, or in the lower back. So one other surefire way, while we're on the topic, that we can read a person's spiritual energy and consciousness to give us a good idea of what may be affecting them physically is to intuitively scan their chakras. So the chakras are the core energy centers located all along the spine that each represent a different area of consciousness. So for example, at the base of the spine or the tailbone, we have the root chakra. The root chakra represents our relationship with the physical world and has our sense of safety and security rooted there. This chakra is a core energetic center for our relationship with our homes, our finances, and even relationships with immediate family members with whom we may share our home or our finances. So when someone holds on to, for example, maybe a not so healthy belief with regard to their finances or their security in life, we can sometimes see that tension show up in the physical body around the sacrum, the tailbone, or the lower back. So if you're interested in being able to read the physical symptoms of the body to help to deeper understand what's going on at the consciousness level, I highly recommend the book You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. Louise has compiled a long list of symptoms and physical ailments and what she has found to be the root sort of spiritual, emotional associations that we have with these physical ailments or areas of the body. I have referenced this book many, many times throughout my life for myself, for loved ones, and for clients, and have found it very, very helpful. And I will say that Louise's list gives us mostly generalized meanings around these symptoms, and that's really helpful because it can act as a great signpost to direct you to then look further into maybe that general overall issue that might be associated with the shoulder pain or the knee pain, and then to see what specific things might be underlying and going on for you at the personal level under that general umbrella that she kind of helps to provide. And seeing the way physical symptoms can accurately shine a light on our state of mind, or the way that the spiritual energy body can accurately pinpoint areas where physical stuff is going on, is all a great testimony to the connection between mind, body, and spirit. Now, if you're interested in diving a little bit deeper into the topic of the connection between mind, body, and spirit, we did do a whole radio show dedicated to this topic here on Through the Eyes of the Angels, and you can go ahead and find it in the archives on Spreaker.com or on YouTube. And of course, I'll be sharing more on the links where you can find the podcasts of shows from the past, again, at the end of our show, so you'll make sure to get it. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about one other aspect of that knowledge from the angels, that consciousness is stored all over the body. And that is the idea of your spiritual DNA. So from what I've learned from spirit, the physical DNA of your body has a spiritual component to it. Within the spiritual component of your DNA, you are carrying a tremendous amount of incredible information. Among the information carried in your spiritual DNA are memories from your past life experiences. Sometimes these memories from past lives will show up in your physical body. So, for example, when someone incurs a wound at a certain part of the body during a past life, sometimes, just sometimes, it is associated with a birthmark that might appear at that very same area of the physical body in this lifetime. There are many people who have regressed to past lives to discover that a wound or strong experience surrounding an area of the body is now where their lifelong birthmark is, and it gives them kind of an explanation or a connection to that. Or another way that we see this showing up is through our personal preferences in terms of our physical comfort zone. So I once knew of a spiritual teacher who could never abide by wearing a tie or any tight-fitting clothing around the neck. And later in his life, he discovered through past life work that he had experienced a previous hanging in another lifetime, and that this was a part of his always wanting to feel very loose and free and comfortable in this area of his body. So something that is also encoded within our spiritual DNA are strong waves of consciousness held and focused upon by our ancestors. When we pass down our genes to our children, we aren't just passing down information that encodes the color of our hair or our eyes and so forth. We are also passing down moods, memories, and experiences. Now, one of the simplest, most straightforward areas in which states of consciousness and lifestyle choices are proven and seen to be passed down through generations is seeing the way that, for example, tendencies towards addictions or depression can be passed down through generations. Therefore, through choosing different lifestyles, maybe that's different than your ancestors, you too are re-encoding the information in your DNA to pass down to your children. As you delve deeper into this particular subject, you will find fascinating things, such as a study that I recently stumbled upon that was done in Ghana on African descendants in North America from the US and Canada, whose ancestors, generations back, had experienced trauma from slavery. It was found in this study that the trauma or predisposition to stress was indeed passed down to the descendants of former slaves. Physically, there are chemical changes in the body that result in epigenetic tags attached to the genes that we observe as the passing down of that traumatic stress, the memory of that stress. Now, at the spiritual level, however, the information, feelings, and sometimes even direct memories from these experiences are passed down as well. And you can indeed access those memories that are by working through your spiritual consciousness. A Lightworker friend of mine discovered that through his African-American ancestry, he was carrying some of the energy of what still needed to be healed from his ancestors and their experiences. And through shamanic journey work and really deep spiritual healing, he was actually able to cleanse and release so many of these ancestral memories, and reported that he could feel the spiritual presence of his ancestors there with him as he healed. And they were thanking him and celebrating with him as their lineage received healing, support, and strength in all directions of time as a result of his work. Isn't that amazing? I just thought that was one of those incredible connections. So yes, our consciousness and what we do with it encodes us down to the DNA level. And that's a two-way street. So the care, experiences, and lifestyle you choose today for your physical body is affecting the overall growth and direction of your consciousness, your mind, and your spiritual path. Now, one area of physical self-care in which I have received continual guidance on over the years has been diet. So what we put into our bodies, this is so incredibly important in shaping how we feel and how we function. Our food is absolutely our medicine and is the tool that tunes our consciousness and our vibration, kind of like tuning the strings of a violin. The first time I received strong guidance from my angels on my diet was on an afternoon, I remember it clear as day, when I was 19 years old and I was making lunch for myself, and the meal that I was making had meats in it. I heard a spiritual voice saying loud and clear in my mind, "This animal has not been thanked properly." I changed my decision on what I would eat for that day at lunch and then opted for something vegetarian and did that for the rest of the day. And then the next day came and I continued with that choice. And then days turned into months and months turned into years in which I did not put meat back into my body. Later, I adopted a vegan diet, and after that was guided not to consume gluten or genetically modified foods. Today, I eat, I'd say, mostly an organic, plant-based diet consisting of a lot of raw, fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and whole grains and things like that. What I learned from the angels from my personal level of spiritual sensitivity was that when I consumed animals and animal products, I was also consuming the state of consciousness that the animal was in during their life and at the moment of their death. As I grew in my psychic abilities, I was able to sense and perceive that the energy of animals or animal products was an immense thing to carry for me at the spiritual level. It felt like a heavy film over my energy body, and I realized that this was not compatible with the direction my consciousness and my spiritual energy was going in. The consciousness of animals for me was simply too close to that of my own to carry and to process like that. And of course, as I learned more about a plant-based lifestyle, I just truly found that personally it resonated with me. The idea of living in a way that supports animal rights and environmental protection and conservation, and of course my physical health, all sounded great and was something I just liked to be a part of. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that all Lightworkers must adopt a completely plant-based diet and lifestyle. I have known many Lightworkers, many spiritual intuitives, and highly energetically sensitive individuals that still do consume some animal products, but pretty much I've come to see in every case, it seems to be the consensus that it feels mentally, spiritually, and energetically better to do so when you make an effort to consume animal products not raised in cruelty, and of course in a way that is more environmentally sustainable. And of course, the added benefit of that is that you're also not consuming all the hormones and pharmaceuticals fed to commercially raised animals that are so incredibly incompatible for our bodies and our physical health. My highest guidance when it comes to that is just to really tune into your own spiritual sensitivity, deeply listen to and get in tune with what your body is telling you. Ask your angels for help in discovering the optimal diet for you, and they will work with you consistently to help you make any healthful changes that are required. Something that is universally helpful, as I've worked with lots of clients as they heal and look to find the lifestyle, diet, and so forth that will most optimally support their spiritual path and their happiness, seems to be that when we eat as close to the light as we possibly can, we will all benefit. So eating close to the light, what that means is eating fresh, vine-ripened, sunlight-filled fruits and vegetables grown naturally and organically so that they flow with the harmonious processes of the earth. Eating close to the source of the energy on earth, the sun, that is to eat close to the light. It helps us to feel lighter and more clear in all ways, all areas of life. I'll give you an example. A few years back, I decided to go on a 40-day, completely strict, raw, vegan, organic food cleanse. And oh my goodness, you guys, it was so profound. About maybe 10 days into it, I felt so happy, so clear, and so energized that I could not believe the rest of the world wasn't doing this too. Spiritual messages were coming in louder and clearer than ever before. And I was just boundless with happiness and clarity. And I sort of understood during that moment why there were so many spiritual teachers over history who have an association with the process of fasting. And fasting doesn't always need to be, you're strictly not eating any food. People do bread and water fast, people do juice fast, people do all kinds of different things. For me, this was my raw food cleanse. But it really does do something to shift your consciousness into a brand new state, and it makes you a little bit closer to spirit, honest to goodness. So during that cleanse, I also didn't need quite as much sleep. So that was really interesting. I found myself waking up earlier just naturally and jumping out of bed with tons of brightness and energy and happy feelings. And I wanted to absolutely shout it from the rooftops that what you put in your body is absolutely profound in determining your happiness and state of mind. Because guys, I really wasn't doing all that much else to change anything in my life aside from the dietary stuff. And whoa, the huge changes that it caused literally everywhere else. My body just seemed to be working in such a state of harmony that, of course, that same state of harmony was felt at the levels of mind and of spirit. So eating is truly our personal holy communion with Mother Earth and thereby the universe. It is the most intimate that we physically get with the earth, because if you think about it, we're literally putting pieces of the earth within us when we eat. So when we eat, therefore, in a way that reflects the earth in her natural, most harmonious and healthy state, we experience that same state. Which brings me to something that I think really bears mentioning if we're going to talk about food, the idea of GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. I have received countless strong messages from the angels and from the spirit of the earth herself that GMOs are not compatible with our physical bodies. The reason is that they have not evolved with us over generations and are often genetically modified so that they can contain very, very high levels of chemical pesticides, which are literally poisonous to our bodies. Genetically modified foods are very, very, very different also from foods that have been crossbred, and it's so important to make that distinction because a lot of people don't understand it. Farmers and gardeners have been cross-pollinating plants for generations and generations, and this is very much natural. In cross-pollination, the pollen from two similar plants is combined, resulting in a new variation of a plant. And that's how we have, what we see today as our modern tomatoes and bananas and different things like that. They've evolved slowly over time through things such as the cross-pollination. GMOs are different. With GMOs, scientists in a lab are using non-natural techniques such as gene splicing of plants with very, very, very different non-related organisms and things such as with bacteria. So the guidance I have received on this is that GMOs are not healthy for us, for the environment, or for other species and organisms, including the evolution of microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi, viruses, and so forth. So trust Mother Nature and eat as naturally in harmony with the earth cycles and rhythms as you can. And that goes for our cleaning products and our hygiene products too. You can think of your skin and every little pore that's on it as being its own little mouth. In fact, your skin is even more absorbent than your digestive tract. So everything that you're putting on your body and that you're absorbing by touching, maybe when you're cleaning, is going right into your body. So keep it natural and keep the poisonous chemicals away from your precious, beautiful, beautiful body. It feels so good to live a natural, healthy lifestyle, and it helps to strengthen your ability to feel your oneness with the earth when you live naturally, and thereby with all the forces of life, and thereby to open yourself consciously to that oneness, where it's so easy to receive clear guidance from spirit. So once again, what you do in one area of your life is going to affect all of them. So treat yourself well, positive self-care. If you'd like to learn a little more on dietary self-care, I do have a YouTube video on my channel entitled How to Nurture Your Spiritual Sensitivity Through Your Diet. So if you'd like to check that out, just go to my YouTube channel and search it and it will be there. Now, another important area of physical self-care is in body movement, in body strength, and body discipline. So remember, what you do to one aspect of your being, you will be doing to all three: mind, body, and spirit. If you strengthen and discipline your body, you will strengthen and discipline your mind and ground the strength of your spirit into your physical here and now. Regular exercise and body strengthening practices have the ability to transform your mental energy, your focus, your inspiration, and your drive. Regular exercise can also improve your experiences when you meditate as well. Again, that's a discipline thing. If you can move past the little distracting, maybe ego thoughts, and love yourself enough to exercise, you can do so even more easily in meditation, to let go of those little ego thoughts and other forms. In other forms also of spiritual practice, you can use that so that you have that clarity, that openness, that focus, discipline, and so forth. One of my favorite modes of body movement that I want to share with you today is yoga. Yoga allows us to practice physical body postures that not only provide excellent exercise, strengthening, and detox effects, but also trigger new states of consciousness. Body posture is incredible because it can do that. It can trigger a different state, mood, or mode of being. One of the most amazing things that I personally probably have experienced in this was when I was practicing Bikram yoga. So that's a hot form of yoga that is very disciplined and therefore also very, very meditative. During one of the postures or asanas in the Bikram yoga series, I was bending my knees very deeply, and I observed as I held this posture and simply gazed forward as still as I could be, that I was sweating out or purging and releasing some childhood early memories from my knees. So strange, but so profound. Very specific memories that I had, all but maybe completely forgotten, were simply just there in a flash, and they were flowing out. I felt them being cleansed. I felt them being healed, and in a way that just made me feel more powerful, empowered, more free than before. So yoga is my personal favorite way to keep myself feeling strong, positive, happy, optimistic, and motivated to keep on creating and sharing in my life. And the idea of, again, body postures that can trigger new states of consciousness, this is something that is shared in the traditional practices of shamanic journey as well. So in many of the traditional shamanic journey practices from all around the world, indigenous cultures that have been practicing for thousands of years on every continent, it's a universality that body postures are used to get into that ecstatic inner state where you're exploring the inner realm of the spirit world sort of thing. And it is recorded again that the body posture itself helps to trigger a certain kind of state once you move into that mental and physical realm. So another mode of body movement that I highly recommend that literally every single one of us do is to dance. Dance, guys. It's so natural to dance. I believe that every single one of us has danced before, even if you don't think so. If you spend enough time around babies and little children, you'll see just how natural it is to move your body out of joy and as an instinctual act of self-expression. Dance is a powerful, soulful mode of communication that has been ingrained in us for thousands upon thousands of years. Dancing can help us all to stay very young, strong, happy, healthy, and in tune with the truth of our feelings. Yes, dancing gets you to feel more in touch with your feelings. Now, similar to my yoga experience in which I had purged or released some memories out of my knees, through dance, I have also personally been able to discover parts of my beliefs and maybe thinking patterns that I wasn't previously consciously aware of. Through movement, I discovered that these feelings were there, and I was able to understand them more deeply and was able to actually reconstruct or redirect the flow of the thought patterns to reflect better harmony and health in my life. So dance can be a meditation too. Dance is also a natural generator of joy. So don't worry what you look like or who's watching, just dance. You don't need a special occasion either. You can dance in your bedroom or your living room, so long as you're feeling that natural joy of it and connecting with that deep emotional inner instinct that the body always has. If you're doing that, then you're doing something very, very empowering. So a final mode of body movement that I think is very much worth including in our discussion today is any form of body movement that gets you in touch with the earth, including walking, hiking, or jogging in nature, swimming in the ocean, in a river or a lake, or climbing rocks, trees, or mountains. There's something so profound about testing, disciplining, and strengthening your body in communion with the earth. Simply learning the very physics of your body in motion with the rock you climb or with the waves of the ocean you're swimming in can teach you so much about staying centered, humble, strong, and clear in your consciousness. These are also great ways to bond with Mother Earth and to commune with the spirits of nature and with the wildlife around you. Mother Earth is such a kind, patient, and eager teacher who would love to communicate with you and heal you right this very moment. So get outside and play and see the ways that this uplifts and harmonizes your personal experience of physical, mental, and spiritual wellness. And I think it bears mentioning that nature plays an important role in our physical health as well, because the physical body that you are walking in is your earth suit. It's your piece of the earth. It is of the earth, and you are walking around in it at all times. Since your body is of the earth, it has the natural ability to flow with all of the systems of the earth as one. So merely by spending some time outdoors with some untouched, natural, wild areas where that flow and harmony of the earth is just humming and available to observe and feel and connect with all around you, just by doing that, your body and the whole rest of your being will start to flow in the same direction as the earth's natural current. And know that the earth's natural current is always moving in the direction of fertility, health, abundance, creativity, and life. Life, life, life. The earth is always working to balance and can really balance anything. It's amazing. So definitely get in tune with that. That's just such an exciting thing to do. So to begin deepening your relationship with your physical body so that you can uplift your spiritual path, the first step is truly to begin to listen. Listen to the messages that your body's giving you, because your body is your best friend. It will always tell you the truth, and it's also very, very wise. It will help you discover how you truly feel about all kinds of situations around you so that you can make choices that will take you closer to your truth, to your health, and your personal happiness. Experiment with different approaches to your self-care in relation to these messages that your body sends you. And allow your intuition to guide you to new dietary or lifestyle experiences just to see where it might lead. Play with it and find what works best for you. All areas of life are truly and deeply, deeply connected. So what you do in one area of life will affect all areas of life in ways that perhaps you may not have imagined before. So let's practice listening to our bodies together in a guided meditation right now. So if you're able to do so, go ahead and get comfortable and relaxed. And you can begin by just closing your eyes. Good. And taking in a few nice, long, deep, healing breaths. Notice the feeling of the air brushing against the back of your throat and expanding your lungs. Feel the peace and stillness flow over you as you begin to focus on your heartbeat. Breathing into the heart, allow the heartbeat to relax to a nice, gentle and receptive rhythm. Feeling that as the intelligence of the heart turns to this restful state, that it sends messages to the rest of the body and into the mind and spirit that it is time to rest, to be nurtured, and to receive. Feel that relaxation beginning to calm the muscles, softening, letting go of any underlying tension, and noticing the joints also growing very soft. With your next deep breath, let's bring our focus all the way down to our toes. See and feel and sense your toes just relaxing, letting go, softening to a state of such deep relaxation that it reminds the body of what it was like to be in the womb, to be able to fully, deeply relax and receive. Allow that feeling to flow up the feet, swimming around the ankles, and then beginning to flow up the calves, up the shins. Once again, feeling every strand of muscle, relaxing and receiving this nurturing, healing feeling right now. Allow this feeling to pool into the knees. You can even imagine that your knees are like floating watery discs of soft, healing, emanating light. Feeling so gentle and at peace. Feel the light flowing all the way up through the thighs, every muscle, every strand, letting go, relaxing and resting even deeper. Feel that feeling moving all the way up into the hips, softening, releasing, relaxing. Noticing the hips just floating, suspended, perfectly in this universe, held by the earth, held by the forces of gravity, just floating here. And then feel that soft, gentle feeling as it flows up through the belly, letting each and every internal organ soften and relax, receiving deep regeneration, rejuvenation, health, and love in this moment. Feeling a deep appreciation for the body as this relaxation climbs all the way up into the heart again. Let the heart and the chest soften. Feeling the beauty of your long, deep breaths, filling and sustaining you, bringing such an incredible sensation of stillness within. Spend just a moment deeply breathing here, allowing the light, the focus, the energy within to simply revel and bask in this incredibly deep feeling of relaxation. Let this relaxation melt its way all throughout the back and the spine, every vertebrae softening, simply floating in space. Feeling the shoulders and the neck relax, melting away any previous tension here, any patterns of tension softening, disappearing, and being replaced with perfect relaxation and peace. Feel that beautiful feeling crawling all the way up the neck, going into the base of the skull. Feel it softening the jaw, noticing the jaw just letting go a little bit deeper. Every little facial muscle softening and relaxing. Even the eyes just floating in a relaxed, peaceful state. Feel the brain begin to shift. Noticing the left and the right hemispheres of the brain trading energy back and forth until they become perfectly harmoniously in sync. All areas of the brain receiving beautiful healing benefits in this moment. With your next deep inhale, visualize that there is a beautiful emerald green healing light floating in through your crown chakra at the top of your head. Feel the crown chakra bursting open like a flower blooming, receiving this light. And then becoming aware that the deeper you breathe this light, the deeper the light spreads through the body. Noticing that that light now fills every single cell of the physical body, feeling so incredibly cleansed, sparkling, and at peace. Take a moment in this beautiful state of relaxation and peace to simply listen to the body. Ask it for any messages it may have to give, and we'll take just a couple of breaths to listen. Good. And once you've taken that message from your body, we're going to go ahead and answer the body as a friend, as one we love, by taking in a deep healing breath and thinking the thought, I love my body. I love my body unconditionally. I am grateful for my body. My body is miraculous, a force of life. And I thank it. Thank you, body. Go ahead and take in a nice long deep inhale, filling your lungs with that sense of gratitude and love for the physical body, for the life that we're in, for this planet, for this time. And then with the next deep breath, we'll honor that feeling once more. And with the exhale, you can gently open your eyes and just shift right back into the moment, back into the room, grounding the feelings around you. Perhaps feeling very, very, very clear now. Wow, wasn't that nice? It feels so good to do these guided meditations with all of you because we can feel the collective that's connecting all of us. So you being able to relax and receive and heal very deeply, you allow other people to do that. You create space for them to do that. You're sharing that beautiful energy that you're bringing into this shared space for all of us. I will do a little group mini reading for us all who are listening today. And today, I'll tell you guys, I am working with the Archangel Raphael Healing Oracle card deck. And I thought that this was very appropriate for our theme today because the Healing Oracle card deck gives us lots of signs and symbols related to physical healing and physical self-care. The other deck I'm working with today is the Healing with the Angels Oracle card deck, in keeping with our healing theme. So let's go ahead and pull a card, maybe two. We'll see what we feel guided to do from each deck. We'll start with just one from each deck and see what we get there. A little shuffle, and there we go. One card from each deck. So the card that I just turned over, oh my gosh, I love this, from the Archangel Raphael deck is the Consult a Nutritionist card. Consult a nutritionist. So this is a card that is telling us essentially that we've been on the right track today. I know we spent quite a good deal of our time in our discussion talking about healthy eating and how that truly is a key to feeling healthy and to getting on track with our self-care. So this is a sign that says, yes, keep going with this. This message is for all of us today. Consult nutrition as something that can help. Now, our second card for our collective reading, the group reading for all of us, is the Trust card from the Healing with the Angels Oracle card deck. I'm getting a couple of messages from this card. One of the messages for this is to release stress. Release stress. I'm hearing that when we relax around the situations in our lives, we're able to relieve stress at a deep, deep, deep physical level that maybe we're not even aware of. So really, really trust the world around you. Trust that situations are working, that you don't have to control or push or force anything to happen to make things work, and know that you can de-stress that way, and it's incredibly healing. Beautiful. All right. So I just now got a little message that we have a caller on the line. Yay. All right. So we are going to go to our caller. Let's just go ahead and bring them on the air. Hi, caller. You are live on the air. What is your name? And thank you so much for calling.
Hi, Sarah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, I'm Natasha. I'm from Miami, but I live in Spain right now, so I'm calling from Spain.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for calling in. That's great. I'm so glad to be connected with you today, Natasha. That's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So what question would you like to ask today for the angels?
Well, actually, I was wondering if I could just get some general guidance, maybe an angel card reading. I don't have a specific question.
All right, we can do general. Those are fun because then we just kind of open it up to whatever will come, and it's always interesting stuff that we see. So I'll pull a couple of cards from the Healing with the Angels deck, since that kind of gives us a little more generalized kind of energy. And just for fun, since we'll keep in with our topic for today on the physical self-care, we'll pull just one card from Archangel Raphael to see if he's got anything for you too. So let's see. Our first card is the Guardian Angel card, Guardian Angel. So, okay, the first message that I'm hearing loud and clear for you, Natasha, is that your angels have been growing much closer to you in your relationship with them, being able to sense them. Have you been reaching out a little bit more to your spirit guides, your angels lately?
I actually have. I've been doing a lot of meditations to try and connect with, my higher self, or I guess whatever you want to call it. But yeah, maybe that could be it.
Yes. Oh my goodness. That was the first message I heard. It felt like, yes, she is ready for this. She's opened in her intentions, her heart and her spirit, that she is ready to get guidance directly from her angels and to connect with spirit at an even higher level. So that's what the Guardian Angel card is telling us, is that your guides are looking to connect with you more, to communicate with you more. So as you do your meditations, and oh my goodness, that feels so good for you, just listen a little bit, because they might start giving you some real clear messages, and it should feel really, really good. So our second card that we have for you is the Nature card, Nature. So this is so interesting. Again, another one of those synchronicities. We've got 44 cards in this deck, and of one of the cards we pull, it's the Nature card, and we've been talking about that at length today. So
yeah. Oh, that's so funny, because I've actually been having like this really strange, I just really want to go to a forest or to nature. I don't know. I've been having like a calling for that. So that's quite fun. I live in a busy city, so that's a really nice card for me.
Wow, wow, wow. So this is a sign that essentially says that your guidance that you've been receiving is right on track. It's totally true. It will be very, very good for you to get out and spend some time in nature. And whenever we're looking at our oracle cards, we always want to see the story that they're telling together. And since the previous card was all about getting more in touch with your spirit guides and your personal spirituality, this card is telling us that for sure, through nature, you will see that connection deepening and your intuition getting stronger, the clarity and the stillness in your meditations perhaps increasing. Nature will have a beautiful, beautiful effect on you. One other little mini message I'm kind of hearing on the side of that too is that you've got some nature spirit in you. I'm feeling a bit of an incarnated elemental in you. So you have a personal, real special bond with nature, and you thrive off of that strength that you feel with it. So that's a really good thing to definitely follow that guidance.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yay! So let's look at our third card, and it's the friendship card. Friendship. So right away, your angels are saying that they're helping you to attract really positive relationships in your life based on the spiritual growth that you've been going through. Also, they're saying any changes that you noticed with regard to relationships, any changes in your feelings or anything that's going on in relationships is a result of your spiritual growth and the change in your energy. And I'm hearing them say positive changes. This is definitely a positive thing. You're attracting the right people at the right time. And I just heard them say the word soulmate. I'm hearing soulmate. So there's a soulmate on the way, or there's a soulmate already close by. And again, this is part of what needs to be right now with regard to all this spiritual opening and growth that's happening. So that's really great.
That's so beautiful too, because since I've started, being a little bit more spiritual and going into that, I've kind of isolated myself a little bit from people because, well, I'm in university, and at my age, a lot of people still aren't, on this path yet. So that's really nice that I might be attracting people with similar interests as myself.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. You're a girl after my own heart, because that was me when I was in university too. I felt very different, and I spent a good time on my own because, I wanted to be in the nice energy that I had when I was in that spiritual energy, and didn't always find a ton of like-minded friends, but eventually I just attracted them. Again, the angels help to bring them in, and they'll be doing the same for you. I really do feel that there are people that you can share with, and also even that it's fine that you've been listening to your instincts and taking a little more time for the quiet and the self-care. That's also good, and it's also part of making room to meet the new people that are coming in. So
absolutely.
That's going to be great.
Absolutely.
Yay. So the final card that we pulled is from the Archangel Raphael deck. And this is the second opinion card, the second opinion. So this is actually really, really interesting. And I'm hearing Raphael say this has nothing to do with physical health. It actually has to do with the whole theme of everything else that we've seen in the card spread so far. And the card represents that you're receiving a second perspective, or a higher perspective that is coming through your own perspective and your own envisioning, yes, but also the second opinion that you receive from this increased communication and connection with your spirit guides. So wow, that's what this truly, truly is all about. You are opening to be able to communicate better with this intuitive force that's moving through you, with the spirits around you, with your angels, your guides. And this feels like it's just going to bring so many blessings on the path ahead, my dear.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Well, you have a beautiful time. I hope you're having a great time in Spain. I love it there. It's one of my favorite places. So just soak it in and love it.
Yeah, of course. And just before I go, well, thank you so much for the work that you do. You really do bring a lot of love and light to a lot of people's lives through your videos on YouTube and your podcast. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. You are so sweet. That makes my day. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. That was so fun. We're just 3 minutes out from the end of the show. So what we'll do with the remaining couple of minutes that we have left is to do one more general card spread that I'm feeling guided to do this time from primarily cards from the Archangel Raphael deck. So I think that that's really going to be good, because let's get some physical healing guidance for all of us who are listening from Raphael. So I'm doing the shuffle. And as usual, I just pick the cards that surface first, that I'm feeling intuitively guided towards, and trusting that Law of Attraction is bringing the cards that we're going to need today. So the first card we have from Archangel Raphael, oh my gosh, this actually goes in perfect with the theme that our last caller had, that Natasha had for her reading. It's the Listen to Your Intuitive Feelings card. Listen to your intuitive feelings. And it goes great with one of the themes that we had in our show today too, you guys, because we were talking all about the fact that your intuition will help you with your nutrition, with your lifestyle, with your health, with your healing. Listen to your intuitive feelings, listen to your body, and do that by making the space and the quiet to be able to hear those feelings. Do take the extra time to rest, receive, and relax. You know, it's funny, I've been getting that message quite a lot lately, because We're going to be going into a full moon tomorrow, and it's in my sign. It's in my sun sign of Sagittarius. But that full moon particularly, I keep receiving messages about it being a really great time for physical healing, for spiritual and emotional healing, for resting, and for deeply relaxing. So that's going to be a very, very good thing. Use that as your time to listen to whatever messages or new perspectives might come up, as that's going to be super, super helpful at this time. Let's go ahead and turn over and see what our second card is. The second card is Divine Intervention. Divine Intervention. So, by listening to your intuitive feelings, by, in other words, creating a spiritual bridge to the spirit world, to the angels, to the higher power, you will receive a divine intervention. You will receive feedback from your angels. You receive the guidance that you're seeking. What you look for, you're going to find, because prayer is a two-way street. It is. Some people might not think so, but it really is. You're able to sense, feel, and hear God, Spirit, the angels communicating right through you if you believe that you can, and if you allow it. You just got to make room to let it all in, and you will receive beautiful things. Your angels are saying that they would love to help you on this journey of learning more about your health and your wellness and your self-care and all of that. So listen for the little synchronicities that they give. They're telling you that they're going to be bringing them in the form of especially other people, repeated messages that you hear from other people in the world. So definitely listen to that. It's going to be very important. And let's turn over our third card. Our third card is, oh, I love this, the hydration card. Hydration. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is actually really awesome because this was one little area that we didn't really cover so much with our discussion today, but our relationship with water is so important for us as human beings. And of course, really strong as light workers, as people on a spiritual path. Hydration is powerful. So water is the building block of life on planet Earth. We all know this. And it is the most conducive physical element for spiritual energy, this basic element of water. It works kind of the same way as divine spiritual energy does when you're channeling it or when you're receiving it, and that it can kind of take the shape of anything in your life that you put it into. So if you put your spiritual energy into a specific thought or intention, it will become that specific thought or intention, and law of attraction will bring it to you. Water does the same thing. It takes the shape of the glass that you pour it into, the container. Water also takes on form and power and energy based on the intentions that you place into it. If you'd like to learn more about this, I highly, highly recommend the work of Dr. Isaru Emoto, who has done numerous studies on water and the way that projecting particular thoughts into water causes them to crystallize into different formations. And actually, I've experimented with this a little bit myself in gardening, in that I will bless water and project thought and intention into water, and then water the plants with that water. And I noticed that there's a big difference between the plants and how they grow just abundantly and healthfully and beautifully in comparison to maybe the ones that I don't do any blessing or thinking about it with the water, just as my own little test. So this really does work. And guess what? Your body is mostly made out of water. So you can do that for the water that you drink too. So hydrate really well. Place very positive thinking into the water that you drink and into your body, since it is a vessel of water. And know that all of these things are very, very important in helping to create that most empowered, happy, best life, best self that just feels great. And you deserve that. You deserve to feel so, 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 so good. All right, guys. It was so wonderful to connect with you today. I had so much fun. We have come to the end of our time today, and I want to thank you so much for listening. Remember that I will be live every month on Project Bring Me to Life, bringing you spiritual discussions and angel messages. Next month, our show topic will be the power of faith. So definitely mark your calendars for Thursday, July 20th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern and check that out. All of my shows are recorded and available to listen to as podcasts on iTunes, on Project Bring Me to Life's YouTube channel, at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com, and on the app for Android, Stitcher. That's Stitcher. I will also be posting the links for the podcasts on my Facebook and Twitter pages in case you missed it. And you can like my Facebook page at facebook.com/SarahHall1111. And you can follow me on Twitter by visiting twitter.com/Seraphim444 or on Instagram at SarahHall444. And as always, if you'd like to contact me for a reading, spiritual guidance, or a healing session, you can visit my website at www.seraphim.com. That's SERAPHIM.com for more info. And for more fantastic spiritual talk radio, music, art, podcasts, events, and so much more, stay tuned to the Project Bring Me to Life Network and visit projectbringmetolife.com. I love you all so much. Know until we meet again that you are so loved and so very blessed. Bye, guys.